All right, everyone, welcome back to Out of the Park Baseball 22. If you watched my series as the Pittsburgh Pirates coach and general manager, I appreciate it. And if you haven't, go ahead and check that out. We were the GM and coach from the years 2022 through simulated 2028. We played a few games here or there with the goal of winning the World Series with the Buccos. So if you haven't had a chance, check that out. But we're going to try, this is the first time I've done a series on here that is not Pirates related. And I was just thinking about this as I was playing through the Pirates series. It was, and I'll explain what I'm doing first, and then I'll explain why I'm doing it. So first, what we're going to do in this series is we are going to become the GM and coach of the Los Angeles Dodgers. We are going to, let me repeat that, the GM and coach of the Los Angeles Dodgers. And we are going to trade away every member of our active roster. Every member of our active roster. 1 through 20, I don't know what it is nowadays with the COVID expansion, 26, 27, 1 through 26 or 7. We're going to trade all of them away who we open up the season with on the active roster. Trading them all. So 1 through 26, all gone. Bullpen, pitching staff, lineup, all gone on the active roster. And we are going to trade them for players that have at most 81 games played in the major leagues. So, again, at most 81 games played in the major leagues. So, it's going to be really interesting, I feel like. That's going to eliminate some players who are still very young, very good, but we're not going to be able to trade for them. And that's going to we're also going to get some bad deals because after a while, we're probably not going to get, proper compensation package for some of the players that we trade last in our, 1 through 26, I guess, trade-off. So I know most, rebuilding, you take a bad team or you take a team kind of on the fringe, you trade away the players and build up. That's kind of like the classic rebuild scenario. But I'm trying to change it a little bit here where I'm taking a team that is fully stacked and just gutting it. And so here's when I get to the reasons why. One, when I was going through the playthrough, it was just so annoying for like the first 6 years to have the Dodgers, the Dodgers, the Dodgers, the Dodgers, the Dodgers, the Dodgers. I think that was more than 6 times. But so annoying that they're always, it's not only 6 years in the future, but it's also the last, 10 years in real life. That it's just always the juggernaut. Oh, it's so easy for them. They have this huge budget. They have this huge market. They have all this. They have huge popularity. It's so easy for a team like that. So I'm like sick of that. And so that is kind of what started getting me on the idea of what if I just said screw it, just went in there and gutted that team and just said take this, you'll like it. So that was one of the first reasons, or the first thoughts I guess popped into my head. One, despite all this talent that the Dodgers have had over the last decade, and really kind of 2 decades, but I would just say decade, and then in the simulated Pirates that they had over the last first 6 years, they only won, I think, they definitely only won 1 championship in real life, but I can't remember if they've won any in our playthrough. So all this talent, all this money, all this popularity, this big market, and they've won 1 World Series with a completely loaded lineup. So I want to challenge myself. So I'm officially going to call this the Dodgers Challenge or the Andrew Friedman Challenge, I guess, and say, okay, if we even tear down the roster completely to studs, not like studs as in good players, studs as in like the actual foundation of the team. If we tear it down to the studs, can we have a better run on here than Andrew Friedman had in real life. Now, this isn't going to land me or you or anyone a front office gig, but I think it's a cool little experiment to try. So I want to do that. And, I mean, their only championship was last year. That was a COVID championship. So I know the worst thing you can do to any sports team that won a championship last year is called a COVID championship. But, I mean, it kind of was. So that's another reason why I want to try this. Just the challenge of it. Can we gut a completely great team and turn around and win? I imagine we'll be pretty competitive because for some of our players, we will get high-end prospects in return, like very high-end prospects. But we won't get, you draft and you develop someone like a Walker Buehler because, not to trade him away because you want him. So it doesn't make sense to trade away Walker Buehler and search for another Walker Buehler. Can't get much. The ceiling isn't much higher beyond him. So, again, it'll be an interesting thought experiment, and this will probably rely more on simulation than actual playing because I'm not as emotionally tied with the Dodgers. So yes, I know I'm giving the Dodgers a lot of shit. I toured Dodger Stadium when I was out there in 2019. 19. The end of 2019, the start of 2020, when I went out there to watch the Rose Bowl, and it was cool. It was great. It was cool. Don't have nothing bad about it. Nothing bad against. Well, actually, I'm saying I have nothing against them. When I obviously have things against them. So I will be factual, not nice. Or factual instead of nice, I should say. And the other thing that I want to do is because I think this will create a very cool dynamic through the rest of the major leagues. Maybe all of a sudden a team who stinks is going to land a Cody Bellinger or a Gavin Lux or maybe both, and it just completely turns their franchise around. Maybe in like year one, we're looking at a Pirates-Orioles World Series. It's something completely strange just because the talent that is about to be infused across the major leagues is going to be pretty wild, just coming from the Dodgers. So that's another thing. I think that'll be interesting to see how that simulation turns out, or the alternate reality. So again, we're going to call this the Dodgers Challenge. This is just the introductory video. We're not going to do, too much more in this other than set the game up and the parameters of the game. And I might have shorter videos here at the beginning, just a quick, maybe a 4 or 5 minute video on trading Cody Bellinger, or a 4 to 5 minute video on trading, Clayton Kershaw, something like that. So this might be a little bit different format of videos at the beginning, just to see if this people enjoy that more, or whatever. We'll see. I think that will be interesting, or maybe a longer video with just one trade. I don't know how we'll do that, but we'll just play it by ear and see how it works out. So that's the goal there. We're gonna have to, I just think it's going to be a very interesting thought process, see how quickly we can turn things around, see what else happens in the major leagues, and kind of, like I said, go from there. So we're going to start the new game here. We're going to we're not going to do a live start, but we are going to call this Dodgers Challenge. So we will start the game. We have Major League Baseball selected. So that's going to load here in a second. So, yeah, like I said, I don't have really anything against the Dodgers, other than it's just incredibly annoying to continually hear about a team that has won like nothing, other than NL pennant. I shouldn't say won nothing. They've been an incredible stalwart and representative of the National League, but still haven't really advanced beyond that. So we'll wait for it to load here. And I think there's a couple settings we're going to have to choose on the next. I don't think it's going to start immediately. But we'll set the game up. We'll take a quick look at the roster and then get you all on your way here. One of the first things we're going to do, as well as, we'll get to that in a second. But, okay. Here's everything. We're going to not play in commissioner mode, but we are going to put cannot get fired, because that is I feel like with the trades that we're about to do, we could very easily get fired. So all right, so here is where we're at. Let's check this out. It's a completely different Completely different scenario of where we're typically at. So we can't get fired. We have astronomical market size, fan loyalty extreme, interest 100. I'm interested to see how that interest goes. Free agents, we have $27 million in free agents. Our player payroll, $239 million, which is freaking insane. We have $124 million available for extensions. I just don't understand how they don't win every year. So, all right, so we're going to go to the team home screen. So every player you see here will have to be traded away. Every single one you see. Every single one. Mookie Betts, Cody Bellinger, Corey Seager, A.J. Pollock. I feel like we're going to get the best returns for Betts, Bellinger, Seager. Probably Will Smith, too, to be honest. Bueller. And then I think Kershaw will probably get a good offer for him just because it's Kershaw. So one of the other things that we're going to want to do here right away is since we're going to be trading for all amateur players essentially, we are going to let's check out Andrew Friedman's ability to scout amateurs. Or no, I'm sorry. I'm not looking at Friedman. I'm not looking at Billy Gasparino or whatever. So, okay, scouting amateurs, excellent Gasparino. We're also going to want a better scouting major leagues. I'm curious to see if they are out there, but we're going to go ahead and, I mean, he's the only one that has a good reputation on our team. So we're going to go ahead and fire Billy there, and we're going to see if we can get someone who is better in terms of scouting amateurs. So let's see, scouting amateurs. Okay, so we have a couple players here, or a couple options here. Highly favors ability, highly favors tools. I don't really like the highly favor because I think we got skewed analysis. Okay, so scouting international, decent, average, good, outstanding. Okay, so favorability more aligns with what I want to do. I appreciate ability maybe more so a little bit than skills or tools. So we will sign Chris Klein there. And we'll make sure that we get him. So we'll go back and we'll simulate here a couple days until we can get, because when we're analyzing other teams' prospects, we want to make sure we're still getting good bangs for our bucks, or finding some diamonds in the rough. So let's make sure that this scouting director takes our offer, and then it'll be off and away. Generating season predictions, blah, blah, blah. And we'll find out, well, I was going to say, if we had to play through the Dodgers, we'll find out if we were cursed or not. Because if we can't win with this roster, I mean, yikes. So, okay. So does that mean you're in, Chris Klein there? Is that what it means? You're in? Let's see. All right, Chris Klein is in. So that's good. Let's check our farm system because they're going to be playing for us, or a mix of players we get back. 10th, rated 10th. So, well, McKinstry's going to have to go. Let's just take a look at everyone who's gonna get traded away. So 26 players: Betts, Bellinger, Pollock, Seager, Beatty, Turner, Lux, McKinstry, Chris Taylor, Max Muncy, Edwin Rios, Austin Barnes, Will Smith, Kenley Jansen, Scott Alexander, Tony Gonsolin, Victor Gonzalez, Corey Neville, Dustin May, Jimmy Nelson, Blake Trainin, Trevor Bauer, Walker Bueller, Clayton Kershaw, David Price, Julio Urias. Oh my, those are some incredible names. So we'll see how all this turns out. I'm interested. I'm glad we turned off getting fired because I think we're gonna make sure we can't get fired here. But thanks for joining us in the inaugural episode of the Dodgers Challenge, or the Andrew Friedman Challenge, if you'd like it to be known as that. It's up to you. But stay tuned our next episode, or we're gonna start trading away, and you can expect probably some episodes full of trades because we have really nothing left to do until we get everyone from our starting 26 out the door. So thank you for watching. Thank you for joining the first episode of our first non-Pirates series. And I will see you in the next one. Peace out, guys.